Country can the traveler span the timeline from prehistoric art to space-age travel and eat well all along the way? France is the world's most popular tourist destination, but is there anything left to discover? France is located in Western Europe, and my journey through its north and northwest regions starts at the D-Day beaches of Normandy, Mont Saint-Michel, and folkloric Brittany. I then head north along the Pas-de-Calais coast before turning inland to see windmills, giants, and the World War I Somme Valley battlefields. I finish with a drop of bubbly in Champagne. In the Normandy region of France. England's over there, the English Channel is here, and this stretch of coastline is legendary for being the site of one of the most decisive battles of World War II, the D-Day landing, codenamed Operation Overlord. Began on the 6th of June, 1944, when the Allied forces landed on 5 designated beachheads codenamed Sword, Juno, Gold, Omaha, and where I'm standing now, Utah Beach. There's no central D-Day museum. All the sites and memorials are spread out over 50 miles of coastline. So if you want to see it all, you can rent a bike, you can rent a car, or you can luck out like me and meet a real nice French guy who just happens to own an authentic World War II American Jeep. Bonjour, Christophe.
Bonjour, ça va?
Oui, ça va bien. I start my D-Day tour just up the road from Utah Beach in the town of Saint-Mère-Église, the site of the dramatic American behind-the-scenes parachute drop the night before the D-Day landings. This is Mr. Raymond Paris. He was 20 years old and a volunteer firefighter in 1944, and he was here the night that the American parachutists came to Saint-Mère-Église, and he's the last surviving French witness of this incredible event. Monsieur Paris, qu'est-ce que c'est ça?
À l'époque,
the night before D-Day, Raymond and other firemen had gathered around this water pump to help put out a fire, when in a tragic mishap, some parachutists dropped directly onto the town square right in front of the German guards, who immediately opened fire on the helpless American parachutists.
Les parachutes s'ouvrirent.
Parachutes opening.
J'étais sur le bord de la place.
You were standing here.
J'ai levé les bras au ciel.
I raised my arms in the air and yelled, "It's the Allied landing."
Some parachutists did escape, like John Steele, who got hooked on the church spire and played dead to avoid being fired upon. A look-alike mannequin now hangs from the church permanently, just a hint of how the town pays homage to the American forces every year. Saint-Mère-Églis's annual D-Day celebrations here have become something of a pilgrimage for young military parachutists who are keen to reenact the historic parachute drop on the original fields and battle sites. Enthusiasts of all ages come out for the show, and a chance, maybe, to feel a sense of the excitement and drama that one of the first towns in France to be liberated must have felt.
Great honor to be a part of this history and jumping on the sacred ground.
There's a story to tell at every beach and village along the coast. Point du Hoc is where U.S. Rangers scaled the cliffs under heavy gunfire. Pegasus Bridge was taken in a fierce battle by British glider troops. And of course, there are the memorials and cemeteries along the way, such as Colville-sur-Mer, the American cemetery. In this brochure, it says that in this American cemetery alone, there are 9,387 graves. That's one thing to read it. It's another impact entirely, just to be here and to see each one and read each name.
It's just like a pilgrimage to come here and just have a moment to reflect on what we owe these brave guys who just, when that ramp went down, they jumped into the jaws of hell.
It's been very, very moving, and to come here and see it actually and touch things, you know, it's, I can't tell you how it feels.
Once I got home, I think I'll be able to appreciate the sacrifices that the French and English and American soldiers and the citizens had to give up to uphold these freedoms that we have nowadays.
I love having breakfast in France. I mean, the lunches are amazing, the dinners are incredible. But what I like about the breakfast is that it's so simple. I mean, there's no eggs, there's no bacon, there are no pancakes, no Pop-Tarts, none of that stuff. It's just basically coffee and a croissant. That's it. But you have to know how to order your coffee here. If you order a coffee or a cafe, you get an espresso. If you want a little bit of hot milk in your espresso, then you order a café noisette. If you want an espresso with lots of hot foamy milk in it, then you order a café crème. And if you want a good old-fashioned cup of American coffee, then you order a café américain. After getting my feet wet on one stretch of Normandy Beach, I crossed the Cotentin Peninsula to the renowned Abbey of Mont Saint-Michel before hitting the market at Rennes. Every year, 3.5 million people come here. It's the most visited monument in all of France outside of Paris. The truth is, you can get there by car, but I thought I'd go the way religious pilgrims have been going for 1,000 years. My foot. Alors, attendez! Attendez, s'il vous plaît! Attendez! Je viens! S'il vous plaît! Walks are scheduled at low tide from April through October, and it takes about 2 hours to do the 4-mile crossing. It's actually a very pleasant walk. It feels really good on the feet. The sand is warm. Is it dangerous to do this walk?
Well, you have to do it with a guide.
You have to be with a guide?
Yes, yes. The guide knows exactly when you can start and when you have to be at home.
What else can happen out here if you're not with a guide?
Well,
what
you
are the
have
other
quicksand.
dangers? There's quicksand?
Yes.
Really?
Especially around the rivers, when you arrive near the Mont Saint-Michel.
There's quicksand around
Yeah,
the Mont Saint-Michel.
so you have to be careful about that.
It's like a trampoline. I suppose if you got caught in quicksand like this and it wasn't on purpose, you'd be really, really scared.
Il faut pas que tu tires. Non, il faut en fait que tu reliques les
Okay, go straight. I'm going deeper. I'm going deeper now.
Tu reliquéfies ton sable comme ça, tu poses un genou dans le et tu cherches appui avec tes mains dans le sable comme ça. Allez, tu tournes la jambe pour reliquéfier le sable parce que là ça s'est cimenté. Tu tournes ta jambe pour reliquéfier le sable et tu poses un genou dans le sable.
It's like something's pulling at my foot.
Allez, tourne pour Olivier, tu tournes face.
I'm losing all feeling in my leg.
La droite, la droite, la droite. La droite maintenant.
I'm not laughing because it's funny. It's just something that I do when I'm really
C'est bon la
nervous.
droite ou pas?
Okay.
Il y a très peu d'eau.
Okay. Okay, I think I can do it from here.
On appuie sur le genou gauche. Voilà, on appuie sur le genou gauche.
Okay, now how do I get out of here without that one going in?
Non, non, c'est mou, Anne.
Because now the other one's gone in. Okay, it's like giving birth. Oh. Once I've cleaned up at the foot washing station, conveniently located at the entrance to the ramparts, I follow the stream of tourists and pilgrims up past the tacky souvenir shops to the main destination, the Abbey of Mont Saint-Michel. The sandy bay I had just walked across is now covered by water. The fast-moving tides around Mont Saint-Michel are legendary. During the French Revolution, it was a prison, but for most of its 1,000-year history, this architectural wonder has been a spiritual magnet for pilgrims devoted to Saint Michael. You don't have to just imagine monks gliding through these ancient cloisters. Despite the tourists, they're still here, but these days, instead of illuminating manuscripts, they've got their own website. Saturday, anywhere in France, is a good day to find an open market and to shop for a picnic lunch. Okay. I'm going to teach you the most important lesson you will ever learn in French. Où est le marché? Where is the market? And they're everywhere. They're in the little towns, in the big towns, and each one has its own regional specialty.
Merci.
Bring small change and don't be afraid to practice your French. Oh, niçoise. I have to have a little niçoise.
Oui.
Tout petit peu niçoise. France has a fantastic train system with great deals on travel passes and special discounts. Just remember, every traveler must composter or validate their own ticket in the little orange machines you find near the tracks. It's supposed to stamp it or something. Introduce face dessous sur la fiche verte. Oh. That's the TGV, the train de grande vitesse. It's the fastest train in Europe, and it's an amazing system. It goes to all the main towns in France. However, I'm going to a little town called Pont-Abbé, and this train only goes so far as Quimper. The transfer will be a little tricky. I don't know. Maybe there'll be a bus or something. Okay, merci, c'est gentil, merci. From Rennes, the capital city of Brittany, I travel to the far southwestern town of Pont-Abbé and then on to mystical Carnac. Trains are a great place to get to know real French people and their way of life. I got a lesson in French romance.
You take a marguerite, yeah? And you tip the petals.
You pick the petals?
Yeah, you pick the petals.
Yeah.
And you say, I love you, a little. I love you. A lot. I love you. Passionately. I love you. Crazy. I love you. Not at all. When you have got the last petal,
Yeah.
it's the truth.
It's the truth. Naturally, this led to an invitation to share my chicken. buses go to all the little towns around here. And there it is. It says Pont-l'Abbé. That's where I'm going. And let's see, the bus leaves in... Just missed it. Next one comes in 2 hours. In Brittany, natives think of themselves as Breton first and French second. This parade is the kickoff for an all-day celebration of local Celtic culture called the Festival des Brodeuses. Brodeuses, which means seamstress, are those ladies wearing the high lace headdresses and embroidered clothes. Each style's a little different depending on which town or village they come from. Practically all of southern Brittany is represented here today. Meanwhile, at the fairgrounds, this year's festival queen is crowned. Do you curtsy as a queen?
No.
You don't do that?
No.
Do you have a special wave?
No.
No. The dance and music groups perform from morning to night. Demonstrations of the intricate lacework in the headdresses feature the real stars of the show, the local ladies who really are the brodeuses in everyday life. So Marie and Anne actually wear these incredible headdresses every day in their homes, when they go to the shopping. No, quand vous allez au marché, when you go to the store, vous portez. They go to the store with their headdresses. You go everywhere with your headdress. See, it's a tradition. Parce que j'ai pas les cheveux longs, c'est ça. Il y a un problème. It'll happen.
On aurait dû en mettre un sou quand même.
No?
It is the skin,
Oh.
yes.
Là, malgré.
Okay.
This is the Fest Noz, the evening dance. This is when everybody gets to dance. Whether you know the steps or if you don't, you get to dance, and this is supposed to be a really great Celtic group. The next day, I visit Karnak, a pleasant seaside resort town that is also the starting point for a journey into prehistory. Nobody really knows how they got here, nobody really knows who put them here, and nobody knows why they were put there. What is known is that they weren't put there by accident. Some ancient civilization dragged thousands of stones and placed them in specific formations about 6,000 years ago. Do you believe that stones are living?
Yes, I believe they're part of Mother Nature and have messages for us. So these were placed on a very special point by a very special group of people who knew about the energy.
The sheer concentration of thousands